Good morning, everybody. We are back with Eidolon. You are watching Patchlam, and this is part 3. So I hope you've got your coffee ready and some good shoes because it's time to continue our tediously long road trip. Let's jump right back in. Okie dokie, in the last part, we wandered into the site of an earthquake, and this is a fallen city full of skeletons of skyscrapers. It's all very creepy. So I'm not sure if we got all the little shiny pieces that were here or not, but I think while we're here, let's get out some of the pieces of paper we've got in our book and see if any of these are nearby. It's hard to see in the dark, but if they're... Oh, there's one we missed. Yeah, see, it's just easier to find them when it's dark out. I don't really think there's any pitfalls or oceans to collapse into, so I think we'll be good to run around here in the dark, but it really is creepy. Oh boy, there's two of them. I feel like I'm gonna run into something if I'm not careful though. Like a little tree or oof, like one of those giant skyscrapers if I don't look at where I'm going. Is that one inside the skyscraper? How do I get up there? I feel like a lot of this game is just perfect for desktop backgrounds. Okay. So we need to get up there. Surely there is a way up there if that's... Can you get in here? Oh, you could just walk right through it. That's a little weird. Okay. Hold up. March 2048. We have been living in a small, cramped 3-bedroom apartment in Olympia for several months now. Hopefully the girls won't mind too much. They had so much room to move and grow at our old house compared to our new home. The city is so very different from Dayton. There are entire... I can't read that are still damaged. Oh, it might say districts. God, I really hate cursive. Damage from the earthquake. Buildings that were built before the quake all now show signs of and large cracks in the foundation. It is odd to think that the Capitol building of the state is here and that it is behind a large wall. I heard that mine was high and it was needed to protect our state's government. The beacon is also behind wall. It stands high over the wall and gives off a green aura that constantly alters the sky. In the evening we must close our shades or Emily can't get any sleep. I don't like that sound. I don't like that sound at all. However, the beacon is a blessing because Emily is showing signs of growing stronger. Grace and Hannah love the city and all the excitement it brings. I worry because Olympia seems so much more dangerous than back home, and there are always sirens. Okay. And there's one up above here. If we can go up this way, maybe. Let me just glance around real quick because it's hard to see. I might need to, sleep. After we're done here, I think we're gonna follow some shiny pieces, possibly. Whoops. At present now and here, America's busy, teeming, intricate whirl of aggregate and segregate for only thence releasing today's Eidolons. Feeling pretty hungry. What we got in our pouch. Yum, 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 yum. Rotten mushrooms. Rotten blackberries. Toss the bad ones. Okay. Let's try to get up here. Maybe if I just pop around this way. Huh. Oh! That actually worked! April 2052. Much has happened since last I wrote. I have been working on multiple construction projects, and it keeps me away from my girls. Grace will be finishing high school soon, and it is excited for college. I fear that without a mother, she has grown too fast in the city. She's very distant when I am around, and is gone a lot. Hannah seems to be following in her footsteps. The principal suspended her for drinking alcohol at school. I do not know if this is because of her age, or if it is from growing up in the city with the Beacon. It seems so reckless compared to my youth. Emily's sickness is completely gone, thanks to the Beacon. She is learning so much, and is so humble. I think she knows that the Beacon gave her a second chance. When I come home from work, I always look forward to speaking with her. That's a couple years after this one. 2055. If I'm honest, I'm not that interested in this specific woman's life story. Oh god. These are all pieces of debris. Can I go any faster? There's just way too many things for me to collect. I think maybe we should go ahead and leave this place and head for somewhere different. Just because I'm sure you're all tired of all these similar buildings mushed together. I mean, it looks cool and all, but we've already found quite a few of everything. I mean, quite a few of those journal entries here, and surely there can't be that many more here. And if there are they really that interesting to read? Just reading about a woman and her watching her children grow up and grow in different directions. It's not really telling us anything new about the world, just reiterating that the beacons cure sickness. You know, big deal, I already know that. That sounds harsh, but I'm sure there's much more to see in this world. I'm not exactly sure where we went, because this up here has to be the road that we found, and this up here has to be the giant body of water we found, which is strange because I was going northeast the entire time, so I thought maybe we were down here, but there's no huge body of water over here, so that doesn't make any sense. I'm really confused where we are. Where is this gonna take us? And that direction is like southeast. It wants us to go back closer to where we came from. You know, I get the feeling I'm gonna have to record a little bit more than I usually would, just because, well, there is a lot of walking around in the nothingness, and it's very peaceful and aesthetic, and it can be pretty, but I can't imagine it's the most exciting thing to see. Oh, good. I think we finally found where the map sparklers were taking us. So now we've got a new map, but what exactly is this? Oh, is that the city we were at? Maybe? The old town? I just don't understand. I just don't understand at all. It could be the place we ended up, because we did follow a road into a clearing next to a giant body of water, and we went to a city. I'm starting to think that these maps are kind of useless. Other than maybe the landmark on this one with the tower in the body of water. But that still didn't make sense, because then I went east and it somehow took me to the earthquake city and a road, even though the road is to the west. I am very confused about where I am. Where does this map want to take us? That way, huh? Well, hold your horses. Hold on, I got a question. I picked up that map piece with this map piece. Okay, it's taking us in the same direction. So once you find a piece, once you find the place that it was trying to take you to, it'll just take you straight to the next place. It won't take you back to the place you just came from. Good, good, good. Now the question is, do we want to follow that map? Do we want to look for any of these? Like this one? Oops. I got my compass. Takes us northwest. Let's go! Hooray, more running! I'm running pretty low. I should have killed that deer earlier, honestly, but I don't know, I feel bad. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm okay in hunting in most games. Something about the weird low poly deer here make me feel bad about trying to kill and eat them. Also, it's a little strange how in this game your blackberries and mushrooms will go bad before your meat does. Like, I'm pretty sure I have a hunk of raw deer meat in my pocket as we speak, and I've had it for days in this game. But no, it's the blackberries and mushrooms that go bad. Here we are. This is it, the moment we are finally damned. Riots have started and there's already blood in the streets. Olympia has gone dark, and I get the feeling we won't make it. Reach isn't coming for us. The damned government isn't going to help us out. I locked my door. At this point it might be better to wait. Try to get a record down of who I was. Maybe they'll find it before they burn my body. I have nothing to be sorry for, nothing to apologize. If you are still alive, I love you. Keep going. 110. Oh, sorry. I got next year's 2020. I got 2020 on my mind. You might say I got 2020 vision. Hey! Sorry. 2110. August 28th. Wow, that's actually close to the real date I'm recording this. It's August 23rd. So, riots. Riots. Jamie. I guess that's their name. Reach the fall. Very interesting. That one is actually interesting. I'm glad I read that one. Because I haven't actually read anything about riots yet. So we know things were pretty normal in the 2050s, 2040s, all the good stuff. Maybe possibly a little bit in the 2070s. Of course, there was the Great Quake. And now in 2100s, we've got riots. Now, I'm tired of being in this city, but we keep talking about Olympia. There's no way this is Olympia. There's absolutely no way this is Olympia, because Olympia is way over here. And we went northeast the whole time. We went up northeast. But there is a little town right here, isn't there? I feel like I should stop trying to understand the map and just go with these bits and bobs here. Let's follow this one. Oops. Always whipping out the binoculars instead of the compass. A bastion on the peninsula. Y'all, you're just gonna have to get used to knowing that I don't say words correctly. A group of self-proclaimed libertarian survivalists calling themselves Bastion has called on the United States government to recognize their sovereignty. These survivalists are located in our very own Washington and are led by the eccentric and outspoken Erica Baumgartner. I managed to get in contact with Katniss Ocampo and one of Miss Baumgartner's aides who helped me to learn more about Bastion. According to Katniss, Erica Baumgartner owns approximately 50 acres in Olympic mountain range, and in the center of it, these libertarian survivalists have built a self-sustaining facility. They intend not just to survive, but build a freer place, and Miss Baumgartner and her like-minded friends are convinced that the first step towards their freer world is complete separation from the United States. Hey, I'm feeling that. These survivalists have already begun to pursue aggressive measures in order to ensure their safety. Katniss informed me that the compound is surrounded by signs warding off trespassers, and the actual grounds are defined by electrified razor wire fences. Furthermore, all members must go through righteous combat training and wilderness survival training. When pressed about their far-fetched bid for sovereignty, Katniss said, "We are not like those nutjobs in the middle of the country who are organizing militias to fight the U.S. government. We are simply a group of people who are fully capable and fully intend to make a better life for ourselves, and we do not want the government interfering with that. The people of Baston show serious determination, but success is unlikely, seeing as how the U.S. government has a history of denying even limited sovereignty to native groups with far older and frankly far more legitimate claims." Okay. Too bad that one doesn't give us a time. Feeling pretty hungry? I guess I haven't slept, have I? Okay, I think maybe we finally reached the reach one, so let's take a peek. It was quite a walk. What we got? Okay. The faithful came again while I slept, and there is word that Philadelphia has gone dark. The whole corridor is silent now. The people here have been raving for weeks now, and no matter what the police do, the panic gets worse. Guidebooks done nothing but overcrowd the next city to go. I've been sent over the Bellevue to stop some riots. Apparently the Central Mall Tower was set on fire last night, and there are crowds outside the Reach complex throwing anything they can get their hands on. Okay. We can keep following the Reach, I guess. I mean, we already came all the way out here to find another piece of it. I'm not sure how much that tells us. I feel like a lot of these journal writings don't really tell us a whole lot. They give us a little bit of history. They give us a little bit of more history that we were unaware of, but always more questions than answers. Now we need to ask, who are the faithful? What is the Reach? Why are they rioting? They haven't really explained why there are riots yet. So we are pretty northwest by now. Still not sure exactly where we would be on the map, but there is this big lake. Maybe... oh, it hasn't rained in a while, has it? Maybe we're finally at the part in the map that is... let's see. Up here? Maybe this is where we are now? I don't know, y'all. Let's keep... well, it does look like it, doesn't it? That means there would be some water on that side, too. Let's keep looking for the Reach. Find more pieces of the puzzle. So, onward! Wonder if we can go across to there. Looks like we've got us another destroyed city, y'all. Let's check our button again. Okay, so still pretty much just straight on ahead. Boy, oh boy. That's not all in water, is it? Can't really tell from here. It just looks a bit like water down there. Oof, not liking this terrain. Ugh, I don't think the terrain's much liking me either. Yeah, that's water. That's all water over there. Well, what do you get when you build yourself right next to an ocean? No, I'm kidding. They probably had a lot of flooding. Wouldn't be surprised if their city, like, was built on, you know, like a big old, what do they call it, like a sinkhole. I went to a college that was built on sinkholes. Not the best place to build your university. I think we were actually maybe they were just a little famous for having a sinkhole in the football field like the year before I was a freshman there. Okay, so we're still going the right direction. Come on, give me the goods. Give me the goods. I need more information. Oh, here's something. Let's see what we got. This one. Oh, there's so many things to look for. Bellevue is unlike any city I've ever visited before. Once Setrite was discovered, it became one of the most prosperous cities in the country. Technology and manufacturing industries drew people from around the world, and people were flocking there long before any beacons were erected. Maybe that's why they built a wall around the whole thing instead of just the city center. We haven't gone inside the wall yet, but Bellevue's and famous towers are still visible, dwarfing everything around them. The remains of the shanties are much smaller than I'm used to seeing, maybe because more people were allowed to live in the city proper. The tin and aluminum structures or what vestiges of them there are, extend further out than the beacon's influence possibly could have. Those poor, naive people, living like that in the hopes that they might gain a year or two, might not get sick as easily. It's interesting to think about how different life became once the beacons were erected. There were no more sick days from work, and almost no one was given disability assistance. Social Security and the like all but ceased to exist. There was no sentiment age. The battle over reproductive rights took a number of interesting turns, and the medical field was in constant flux for decades. Everything from day-to-day activity to politics, to war, was changed forever. I remember how long it took just to figure out how the military would function. People from beacon cities couldn't fight. There was just no way. They would die long before they reached a battlefield. The problem was that it was, so long, difficult to motivate outsiders to fight when city dwellers couldn't. In the end, it was a mixture of beacon-related incentives and significant pay increases that did the trick. But by then, war was so changed that the government hardly knew what to do with soldiers. Eldon almost joined the military more than a few times. He had an idealistic streak when he was younger. He thought it was his duty to protect normals, but he never quite knew how to do it. It was probably for the best that he was always fickle. So like a bird he was, he never quite settled down. He wants to find a way through the wall tomorrow, or over it, whichever is easiest. The evacuation, if you could call it that, was brutal. They locked all the gates and shot people as they tried to flee the certain death that accompanied remaining in the damned city. The years have not been kind to the wall, but it was built well by necessity, and it still stands firm. I can only imagine what it must look like inside, the streets littered with piles and piles of bones. When Olympia's beacon fell, even if there had been any real government left to give guidance, there would have been no way to enforce it. Here things were very different. I've had a lot of time to read about these things. Regardless, there still has to be a way in. What we are looking for is inside, and whether I agree with it or not, Eldon has his mind set that it is more important to retrieve it than to keep these ruins intact. Okay. Oh, it's too dark. I don't want to fall off a cliff. Let's just go straight to sleep. Oh, please tell me I'm not gonna starve to death in my sleep. Okay, we're good. This must be part of a wall. How far does it go around? So, this might be Bellevue inside the wall, I'm assuming. We are... Oh, there's another, bit over there. Surely there's a way in. Like a broken down gate somewhere? It can't be solid all the way through. Oh, please be something short. Okay. I guess there is nothing more to do, just wait. Bellevue went out like an expired light bulb, and even from the freeway I could hear the violence. A million people filling the streets, some with sores already, some dying in the alleyways already. We put up a blockade in the freeway, a couple outposts in the streets below. Our orders now were to shoot on sight, to make sure no one made it to Olympia. We're one of the last cities, or at least it seems like it. No more room for order or decency. Give the faithful as few chances to get into our city as possible. Okay. So... Oh, there it is. There's the entrance, I think. So there aren't actually any more beacons. There aren't actually any more immortal cities. Come on. Oh, that's definitely new. Oh no, it's the artist! Eleanor Washington, 4. Found this blog the other night, how insanely embarrassing, and thought what could be better than to write a little update to myself from years down the road. It's wild. I practically blacked out my brief time at art school. I think the trauma of the Great Quake destroyed almost everything for me. I'd forgotten how much I cared about being a big, important artist, and how hard I worked. I know I'd be glad to see where I am now, one of the highest-selling artists in Bellevue. Not that much of the work I'd done then had any relevance to my position now, but I think the work ethic I developed did matter. It's what drove me to do that series with the exiled artists. And I suppose if I'd never gone to Seattle, well, then that would have halted me as well. I actually regularly get drinks with one of those classmates I complained about, and she's become a lovely woman and an excellent artist in her own right, though not with as much recognition as myself. I drink with her for company only these days, since I'm old and rich enough to drink whatever and with whomever I please. Just so embarrassing to read my words and see what a catty, antisocial brat I was. I'm sure she was just as lovely then as now. 4. Why am I still connected to the internet? That's the question. How is it I found a blog post from this exiled artist? I know that can't be where I was going, though, right? No, we still got some to look at. To reach staff from Joshua, date January 8, 2104. Okay, so maybe just before the riots? Oh, and this looks like, you know, a code. Why don't I take a picture of this? And we don't have a whole lot longer in the video. I'll see what I can do about deciphering it, assuming that it's not just gibberish, which I would assume it's not, and we'll talk about what it means later on. Now, is that what we were finding? Is that where we were going? Or is there another place? There might be a little bit more here. Here's another piece. Maybe more reach stuff. Oh, it's a folder? Millennium. Most of it seems to be redacted. Cumulative orders, customer manifest, address. There's Erica. James, Victoria. Contact Emma, Luke, Dominic. Experimental, PETA. Ooh, gotta twist my head around, y'all. See, for a search warrant. A search is requested in relation to an offense substantially described as follows: the criminal negligence perpetuated by True Corp in the manufacturing, advertising, and distribution of the drug derived from the profundicils deduces bacterium. Applicant Angela, detective, certified clerk of King County clerk, sub-county clerk. Oh, my head. The undersigned applicant states under oath, search the request in relation to an offensives. Okay. Oh, how nice. It turned it sideways. It turned it upways for me after I already twisted my head around. Material facts constituting probable cause. 6 people died unexpectedly, all while using the drug produced by True Corp in a signed affidavit. Leslie Lim, a former junior lab assistant at True Corp, stated that the test subjects from the early stages of drug testing began to die unexpectedly. Leslie Lim was then fired after bringing her concerns about these deaths to True Corp. Sounds about right. I was advised of the facts set forth in probable information. Worked at True Corp. Detective. Okay. Gonna take us this way now. Is True Corp part of Reach or something? So people are dying of drugs now. We got riots about to happen. We got drugs. To Alan CC Calico from Kathy, date November 28, 2096. Details Senin. The individuals known as Senin are confirmed as having all been the offspring of men who took True Corp's early Deep Stone drug marketed as Truth and Beauty. Specifically, the drug seems to have interacted in some way with the father's gamma seminoprotein, therefore having a dramatically increased effect on men with cancers of the prostate. This explains the relative rarity of the disorder. The Senin have all the same effects on nearby life forms as true stone, augmenting healing processes, prolonging life, perhaps indefinitely, and even as a result of the other effects, creating a natural dependency on their presence. Though some strange processes, they also appear to have the ability to control these effects to varying degrees. Some Senin, Morgan Bryn, James Fuma, are, or were in Fuma's case, able to control their power so tightly that they could heal isolated wounds with extreme precision or even deprive specific subjects of their ambient glow to cause immediate withdrawal symptoms, pain, organ failure, death. It is believed to be through this ability that Fuma was able to partially deactivate the LA beacon during the 2063 riots. The mechanism is not fully understood, but it is our contention that a Senin's glow, when properly focused, can knock true stone cells offline, perhaps by overloading them, perhaps through interference. This is likely your biggest threat concerning this from the Senin in the coming years, another disaster like the one Fuma caused. Hey, so now we know what a Senin is. They have powers similar to the beacons that could possibly, on purpose or by accident, override the beacons, and I'm going to assume that that's probably why the beacons fell. But it hasn't explained the riots just yet. So we learned a little bit in this episode. We found Bellevue, which is ginormous, completely overgrown. But I figure there's still quite a lot to see. So why don't you sit back, give a sub, take a seat, and just wait for the next video, and we will continue our journey together and see what more we can find out. Alright, thank you for watching, everybody. See y'all next time.